Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kate with Kate's Regretless Life. Let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to take a look at the signs and symbols for the day. What do we have? And I'm going to go ahead and read the flow of the storyline first and then take a look at the symbols and whatnot, okay? So we've got some exciting little somersault cards here. We're going to kind of keep them the way they came out. They're not exactly horizontal, but for lack of a better angle, I'm going to go ahead and put them in that position. So we certainly, even the movement of the cards matters to me. We've got change. We've got a question mark of whatever somebody is thinking about could be a little bit like they're indecisive. They're not really sure about what they want to do. Now, what I see in the first lineup is we've got someone who's organizing, possibly a feminine. She was organizing her mind with geometry. She's someone who possibly has a certain amount of affluency in her life, possibly fairly comfortable, or she would like to have a very comfortable life. That could be something she's really trying to focus and build for herself. And she thinks if she strategizes just enough, she can make that happen. It's a big dream. She floats up on a cloud thinking about this. I'd like a life of leisure. I'd like to have nice clothes. I'd like to have enough money to take good vacations. I'd like all of that. However, with the heart on fire in the reverse, in the energy of fire, there's something here about her like not feeling as if she has either like this somehow never gets to be her destiny. She's trying to figure out why not. Why do I never get this? Why am I never having what I want? Now, this could also be a feminine saying, if I can never find love, then I at least want to find money. I want to find a good life for myself and forget all about love. But here's the thing. Now it makes sense to me why these two cards came out, did backflips. I don't think she really means that. With the Three of Wands, which is about the future, and the Seven of Cups, which is options, she knows that her future is unwritten. And if we look at this up close, I mean, yes, she can build whatever castle she wants to, but this Seven of Cups decidedly has a question mark about love, but what if I did find my perfect person? What if it's still out there? So as much as she's trying to either tell herself, I'm going to give up on love and just go for money, she still knows that maybe that's not 100% true. If she also keeps saying, how come I never get the win? She's saying, but in truth, what if my payout, what if my win, what if finding the love of my life and having a great, comfortable life, what if all of that could still be mine in my future? Maybe there's more here for me than what I'm giving myself the opportunity to believe in. Then the card of Earth came out next, and then I shuffled on either side of it, and we have the Moon, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have misery, and we have theology. So faith, misery, we have the energy of like the Earth and the Moon have a relationship of orbit, right? We keep the Moon trapped in our orbit. Its gravitational pull is so profound, even though it's only the quarter of the size of Earth, that it tugs on Earth and moves us subtly so that it sloshes the water on our surface and makes our tides. So the relationship here is much like the relationship I think that's going on in her mind, the tug between, you know what, I want to organize my life, I want to create a good life for myself, just forget about love. But on the other hand, I can't forget about love. I'd like to ideally have both. She can't let go of either. She doesn't know perhaps how best to manifest, because I think she needs to work with everything that she wants. She's trying to pick one or the other, but this isn't going to work. Just like the Moon and the Earth are bound together in these orbits, I think she needs to surrender to some of this. The Queen of Pentacles says, and this may be her, so she could be an Earth sign, she could be a Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus, but it almost feels like she's trying to say, farewell, I'm not even going to think anymore about this because I can't figure out what it is that I want. Maybe I'm doomed to have misery, or maybe I should devote myself to a career path to help other people who have greater misery than me. because maybe that is a spiritual calling. Maybe I'm not supposed to have an easy life. Maybe I'm not supposed to have love. Maybe I'm here to be a servant of sorts to those who need more help than I do. So we see her kind of now with three thoughts. On one hand, I've tried to organize my life to have the good life, but I've never quite had it. And then I certainly haven't found love. I don't know that I'm ever going to find it. So maybe I just need to find something more valuable to do with my time, and maybe accept the fact that I'm here as the world's servant. Again, I think that this is too extreme a thought process. This almost feels like, on one hand, she seems to be accepting this possibly, but I think she's missing out. Like, I think she's got a good heart. I don't feel like this is a feminine who's trying to say, well, I guess I just need to find something to go pour my energy into, since I don't have love in my life. Maybe I need to just like love, animals or pets or the planet, or, love people who need assistance. Maybe I'm here to serve. I'm not here to receive in this lifetime. And I kind of think that this is what she's imagining. But here's the thing. Remember, there is an interwoven destiny for the moon and the earth. I'm starting to wonder if perhaps this is her ticket to getting everything. Perhaps she is seeking more spiritual meaning because she does have a big heart. Perhaps if she goes and she dedicates herself to giving, caring about others, which I think she does anyway, but doing good works, that could in turn eventually bring her to a status where perhaps she does have, a company that becomes very affluent, even though it could have been based first and foremost in, good works, good acts. Oftentimes there are, wonderful humanitarians that have, altruistic purposes, and they tend to be very good at leading others into, choosing to work together. And, what they say, many hands makes light work. Almost as if she could wind up having the best of all worlds, whether or not she knows it. Doing something positive with her energy, instead of just going after only money or looking only for love. If she uses her brilliance and the heart that she already has and does something valuable that she cares about, she may not only discover that she has a life that feels very valuable, and perhaps even is more structured and organized so that she actually has quality time off as well, but she may also find the love of her life. And I only suggest all this because of these two cards. But let's take a look and see. By the way, I do feel like someone's very connected to moon cycles. Sovereignty of Wands on the horizon for her. A King of Wands with a beautiful heart. A King of Wands that has much to offer. This feels like the individual that she's supposed to meet, she will meet when she is giving her energy elsewhere. Now, he could come from a desert area, or he may be someone who also cares very much about helping those in need, perhaps because he comes from a more harsh environment. The desert doesn't have a lot of resources, and you have to be very savvy. You have to understand how to live in the desert. Desert creatures have learned how to adapt. It's a harsh environment. Ace of Earth. This is so perfect for her. Its entire story fits together so beautifully. Her wanting to give and like almost turn desert areas into something green and lush and beautiful. And I'm using that more as a metaphor. She wants to assist those in need at having a better quality life. I could see her working as a humanitarian, as someone who is a biologist, as someone who, wants to do good works on this earth. And what's amazing is that is the way she ends up meeting this King of Wands. It feels to me that her entire destiny is wrapped up to her subconscious. And the pull that she's her innermost self and the things that she cares about are destined to become the things that bring her to her greatest joys in life, to the love that she's looking for, to the purpose, and even the wealth. I keep feeling like she could head a company or head a movement, that really matters to her, and that gives her much greater abundance. But also it is the way she finds the love of a lifetime. It's almost like if she listened to her subconscious about what do I really care about first and foremost, she's never been one who simply cares about, let me get, to the top of the heap so I have the most toys. She's always wanted more meaning in her life. And I think that geometry card in the beginning could have been her, like, critically thinking about, what am I here for? What is it that I really care about? Where should I put my energies? I haven't found a love story, but I would like that. I would like a life, that is shared with another person. But in truth, I also care about other things as well, things beyond myself. And since I don't have another person, why don't I pour myself into trying to make other people's lives better? Because really that's who she is anyway. She's always been meant to make the world a better place. And it's through that subconscious desire that she fulfills all three of her destinies. To be able to have a comfortable life, to be able to have a loving partnership, and to be able to do something she can be proud of in this lifetime. You know what? I loved this story. Symbols for her, particularly for the day as she's coming to these conclusions, I think are kind of linked together to Legos, Lincoln Logs, blocks, something where it's many little pieces. She could walk by a brick building as well and just be aware of all the little teeny bricks that make up a solid building. Just like all of the different people on earth, all of our talents combined is what makes the world a better place. Even here when we see all these little cubits of colored either glass or again maybe block work, brickwork, mosaic work, tile work, all of those symbols could be something that's starting to like take shape in her mind of how little tiny things in our life compile until we see the bigger picture. Someone could have a very like jungle-esque or floral like wallpaper or wall hanging. She could be drawn to kind of more classical art, maybe paintings by like Renoir, for example. An image of a ring of fire or a fire pit. Also the song Ring of Fire could also be something that either she hears or comes to mind. Some kind of more digitalized music as well could come on. Maybe she likes some of the more, like oftentimes some 80s tracks use some like digitalized sounds. The Voids use a lot of digitalized sounds, and that could just factor in as well, like the sounds that she hears, the little fragments of different, audible sounds that again blend together to make an entire song. Because I think that that's the big picture here, is her entire life is made up of smaller components of who she is being fused together to give us the big picture of what her life will actually look like. She may live in a big city, or she may see some less fortunate individuals as she's out and about in the next several days. People that, they maybe don't have a home, or they don't have a place to go, or she talks to someone who's enduring, like instability in their life. She may think more about components of belief systems. It doesn't have to be religion, it could be, but spiritual beliefs. She may question some of that herself. Maybe she goes into a chapel or a temple, or, really sits and contemplates, or she may read some books on, theology, mankind, even philosophy, the concept of, what mankind is here for and what we can do with our energy while we're here. Moon cycles, earth cycles, everything seems to be coming together for her to see like spheres. She may see a lot of circles. She may notice, wheels, even gears, things moving, machinery. She may start to have an understanding that we are so much a part of the bigger picture, that each individual's personal life matters so much because we play a role in the bigger picture. So choose a really good role to play. Be proud to be one of those gears in the big mechanism of life. Do something really awesome, really valuable, because your life matters. The things that you do matter, and it matters to others. But more than anything, it also brings her in this case, to someone, maybe her person does ride a motorcycle, maybe that's the wheels, maybe that's the circles that we see. There could be someone that she notices, you know, multiple times in the next week that she sees driving a motorcycle. Maybe they have some flash of red on their bike or their helmet or something along their lines, and she notices that person again and again without knowing who they are. And it turns out that that is the person for her. So she could encounter this person a multitude of times, recognize them, but not put their face and name as someone that is going to be important to her until a little later. She has a little splash of red or burgundy on, and he has the same. That could also be an indicator for the two of them. Some spark of color, some flash of color, almost like he will stand out to her in a way that, and she probably will do the same for him. They'll stand out to each other. I feel like they cross each other's paths before they end up being in each other's worlds. But this is her getting everything she actually wants. That's beautiful. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I will see you guys again soon. If you didn't already know this, I do typically live stream on my channel. So if you look under the live tab, you will find many videos to select from. I do at least 2 videos per zodiac each week. And so any of those 13 zodiacs, since I do include Ophiuchus, but any of those 13 zodiacs that you are seeking, you will find on my channel under the playlist tab, or as I said, you can go to the live tab and scroll through there. Take care. Thanks so much. Bye.